Hello and welcome back to Superboy Beyond, our intrepid fans. With me, Chris Jacobsen, as always, is Tom Gallagher. We're going to do a very special episode today. We have recently appeared, both of us, on the podcast for Digging for Kryptonite, as the Superboy aficionados that we are. And it got us to thinking we should do a top 10 list of the best of Superboy.
Well, on Digging for Kryptonite, that was the topic of conversation, wasn't it? It was all about our top 10 episodes. But for this podcast, we are literally feeding every single story from Superboy, apart from the tie-in comics, obviously, into it's just, they call it a preference revealer, but it's just basically one of those like pairwise comparison things where it gives you two options at a time and you choose which one you prefer. And by the end, we've just got a top 100 or however many list. Should be pretty fun.
What we are going to do, though, is we're going to count the two-parters as single stories. So
it's not quite 100 episodes. I forget how many there actually are. I can find out.
I think wasn't there like 7 two-parters?
Something like that. In total, if you count all the two-parters as one episode, there's 87 in total, 87 stories.
Okay.
So it won't quite be a top 100 list, but just bear in mind that's only because we're combining all the two-parters, because otherwise this list would just read so strange if it was constantly like part 1 being a completely different section to part 2. It just wouldn't make much sense. So I'll just move my microphone forward a little bit. My audio was probably diabolical until this moment, but never mind.
It sounded fine to me.
Oh, that's all right then. Should we get going and just go through pair by pair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. Okay, so at the bottom of the screen now, you should see the other window that I'm in. I think the first choice is easy enough. The Basement is clearly better than Birdwoman of the Swamps. So
definitely, yeah. There are certain good things about Birdwoman of the Swamps, but as compared to the Basement, Basement is top notch.
Just a far superior episode with a much better villain, and it's great. War of the Species or Young Dracula. I know personally I prefer Young Dracula, but
yeah, same here.
Okay. Run Dracula Run or Superboy Lost? I personally would go for Superboy Lost. How about you?
I'm kind of on the fence here because they're both really good episodes.
They are. I don't know. I just think Superboy Lost, the fact that it's an adaptation of a George Reeves story as well, I think gives it a slight edge. Plus, I just think it's a really great episode. And I think Run Dracula Run has some issues, that especially with the Dracula costume, which I don't think looks very good.
Oh no, that was Young Dracula.
Was it? Oh, Run Dracula Run was the one where he came back and he was evil, wasn't it? Yes. And he tries to infect Superboy with vampirism. I still prefer Superboy Lost, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence here. I mean, they're both really good.
This list will be difficult to put together. There are some options that are going to be difficult.
Right now,
I think Superboy Lost. For me, Superboy Lost is the clear winner of those two. But yeah, that's just because I'm not the biggest fan of the Young Dracula episodes in general, to be honest. I think they're fine. They're not my favorites.
Right. All right. We'll go with Superboy Lost.
Yeah. Okay. Roads Not Taken or Paranoia. Now, this is a tough one. I mean, Roads Not Taken and Paranoia are both in my probably top 10 episodes anyway. But Roads Not Taken, for me, probably grabs number one. How about you?
Well, I know this is going to kill Lou, but yeah,
Paranoia is still very good. It's just Road's not take. It's not Road's not
yeah,
taken.
it's Rhodes not taken. No question about it.
Jewel of Technical or Revenge of the Alien. Well, that one's easy.
Revenge of the Alien.
Yeah. Mutant or With This Ring I Thee Kill. That one's easy for me as well.
With This Ring I Thee Kill.
Yeah. I like Mutant, but it's not as good as the first Sherman Howard Lex Luthor episode. Right, Neela or Metallo? I think Metallo, personally.
Yeah. As much as I love
Neela's very
Christina
good.
Moore.
Yeah.
No,
Succubus or the Fixer? Now, I prefer the Fixer, but I know that when we've discussed Succubus in the past, I seem to remember that you had a slightly higher opinion of it than I do.
it's the Fixer.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Rites of
As
Passage or who? So go on.
As much as I love Succubus, just for the supernatural elements, and the fact that she causes Clark and TJ to go at each other's throats. There's no question the Fixer is a better episode, and it was the starts of Scott Wells really showing that he can somewhat act.
Yeah, it is probably, apart from Luthor Unleashed, it is his strongest episode as Luthor.
Yeah.
This one's easy for me, Rites of Passage or Who is Superboy? I mean, it's the finale versus a clip show,
Yeah.
Wait, Who is Superboy was one of the clip shows, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Rites of Passage, easy. Right. Superboy's Deadly Touch or Abandon Earth / Escape to Earth. I know what I'm choosing, even though that is a good episode as well. How about you? It's hard because Abandon Earth and Escape to Earth aren't that good. It's mostly just the guest stars that make that one.
Yeah, it's Superboy's Deadly Touch.
You prefer Superboy's Deadly Touch?
Yeah. Just because it is Sherman Howard, and you finally get to see some of the interaction between him and Darla that becomes part of their relationship in seasons 3 and 4.
And yeah, I mean, I guess I can see where you're coming from, and I think if you were to take the guest stars out of the equation for that one, despite it being a sort of Jarrell and Lara story, yeah, without those actors, Superboy's Deadly Touch is just a stronger episode.
Yeah.
Right, Cat and Mouse or Terror from the Blue?
Cat and Mouse.
I agree. It may have been a clip show, but it was a very good clip show.
Yes, and what really sells it, and I know we just said that, the guest stars kind of aren't, because each of these 2 episodes have great guest stars. You got, Erin Gray from Buck Rogers in Cat and Mouse, and you got Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa in Terror from the Blue. Both outstanding actors, but Cat and Mouse is so good, and it is one of the ones that Gerard wrote. So how can you put down something that he wrote?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Terror from the Blue a lot. It is a tough decision for me, but I do think Cat and Mouse takes it. It's just, maybe it's just a gut feeling thing sometimes, but while I like both episodes, yeah, Cat and Mouse. This is one that, is going to go to prove once again, guest stars don't necessarily make it, because Little Hercules has Joaquin Phoenix. Microboy has, what's his name? Something military? Frank Military? Yeah. So obviously one of those guest stars is considerably bigger at this point than the other, but I think Microboy is the better episode of the 2.
Yeah. I mean, even though there are certain little issues that we've discussed in the past about Microboy, it just seems that his heel turn was way too quick. It is the far stronger episode.
Agreed. Plus, Little Hercules, I mean, yes, it's got Joaquin Phoenix, but at the end of the day, that's just one of the episodes that it's one of the Superboy episodes that saw a hit film and decided let's just do our version of that this week. Like that's just the War Games episode, like we've had multiple Terminator episodes.
Yeah.
I imagine because of the success of Poltergeist, that's probably why we've had multiple Poltergeist-based Superboy episodes. It's just the way it goes. So yeah,
Yep.
Microboy. Darla Goes Ballistic or Mindscape. Now this is tough because Mindscape is probably in my top 5, but Darla is also maybe in my top 10. So it's really, I mean, I guess Mindscape takes it from me, but the argument could be made for Darla Goes Ballistic. It's a fantastic episode.
We may
This
have
is
to
when it
revisit.
gets tough.
We may have to revisit this one.
We can't. We've just got to keep clicking through. We may be here for an hour, by the way.
Honestly,
I personally would go for Mindscape, just
yeah,
purely because it's based on the Alan Moore story. I think it's a good adaptation. It changed just enough so he wouldn't get in trouble, but still managed to do a pretty iconic episode. And it's got so many great moments. It's one of those ones that from start to finish is just awesome.
Yeah, Mindscape definitely.
Okay, Metamorphosis or Wish for Armageddon. Now this one's easy for me, even though I do like Metamorphosis.
Wish for Armageddon.
Yeah. Black Flamingo or Jackson and Hyde. This one,
Jackson and Hyde.
I mean, it's easy, but I don't know. After our recent discussions and your new version of Black Flamingo, my opinion of that episode has been raised slightly, even though it's not actually based on the episode.
Yeah,
Revenge from the Deep or Kryptonite Kills. Now,
Kryptonite Kills.
Yeah. Bizarro, The Thing of Steel, or People versus Metallo? I'm going for Bizarro personally, just because People versus Metallo is a very good clip show, but it's still a clip show.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what we just discussed about Cat and Mouse. And what was the episode up against Cat and Mouse?
Oh, bugger. I've forgotten.
Yeah,
forgotten. Oh, Terror from the Blue.
Right. It's one of their well done clip shows.
Oh yeah, it's a great clip show. Like we've talked about it enough times. I think people know that we have a very high opinion of that episode. But
yeah. But when it comes down to it, the Bizarro 2-parter is so much better. I mean, that gives us one of our first true supervillains, quote unquote, of the series.
Plus, it's the first live action Bizarro. I'm not gonna count when he fought himself in Superman 3, although I read someone recently say that you could make that argument. I disagree. But I see where they're coming from. I still don't agree. Anyway, Bizarro, The Thing of Steel. Fair enough. Mr. and Mrs. Superboy or The Haunting of Andy McAllister. Now, neither episode are very good, but I do think The Haunting of Andy McAllister is my favorite of the two.
Yeah.
How about you? Despite one of them being a Mixers Pitlick story, which has Richard Keel as a guest star, and Richard Keel is just great in that episode because it's just silly.
Yeah, The Haunting of Andy McAllister, and this is not to take away from Michael J. Pollard's return appearance as Mixers Pitlick, because that's also still a very good episode. But The Haunting of Andy McAllister is the better of the two.
And let's face it, Mr. and Mrs. Superboy is the weaker of the two Michael J. Pollard episodes anyway. I can't speak for him, but I imagine even he, when he was still alive, probably would have said the first one was better than the second.
Yeah.
Luther Unleashed or To Be Human? To Be Human easily takes this one for me, even though Luther Unleashed is great.
I'm going to have to go with Luther Unleashed on this. As much as I love To Be Human, Luther Unleashed, it has the distinction of being the first live action adaptation of Lex's, comic origin, and this is the episode that showed us that Scott Wells actually can act, or at least with the help that he had, can kind of fake it.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever think he can act in that episode. I think he's better. It's more that I can see a progression.
Yeah.
So compared to his earlier episodes, yeah, he's much better. He's still not very good though, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And To Be Human is, in my opinion, the best Bizarro episode. So it's just,
yeah.
it's tough.
I have it's
it's one of the weaker Luther stories versus the strongest Bizarro for me. If that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I have a soft spot for that episode. We kind of started to see where Lex was going in that episode and what could have been. And it was the best of Scott.
Let's go with Luther Unleashed then. I'm happy to go with that just purely because the amount of promise that episode had is probably a little bit larger than To Be Human, because Luther Unleashed, you want to see stories spring from it. But To Be Human was kind of, once it was done, it was done.
It was done.
Like it wasn't a springboard for later stories. Whereas Luther Unleashed easily could have been. So maybe just down to the potential that it had. Yeah, maybe Luther Unleashed. Plus, like you said, it directly adapted a comic book. And I can't think of an earlier time that was done outside of animation.
Right.
So yeah, Luther Unleashed. Tough decision, but there you go. Here's another tough decision. No Line Enemy or Day in the Double Life. I think No Line Enemy is the stronger of the two, but I love A Day in the Double Life.
Yeah, they're both great. I mean,
they're both top tier episodes.
Yeah, I mean, Day in Double Life has great comedic elements in it, but yeah, Know Thine Enemy, it's the better of the two.
And it's probably the best Luther episode, and it's by one of the writers, like comic book writers, that I probably respect the most. Like, I respect all the comic book writers that are on this, but I love J.M. DeMatteis's work. I just think he's phenomenal. I don't always love his work, but that's part of what I like with certain writers and artists. You don't have to love everything they do. Like, a lot of great writers and stuff, they take big swings. Not every single one of them is going to pay off. Not all of it's not every single swing is going to be a home run.
Right.
So yeah, No Line Enemy, I think, while A Day in the Double Life is very good, and as far as comedic episodes of Superboy goes, it's probably the strongest. No Line Enemy just has more to offer. Yeah, plus, it's the first appearance of Lena Luthor as well, so that's kind of cool.
Yep.
So, No Line Enemy, Road to Hell or Standoff, both very good episodes. Road to Hell is probably going to be that's my favorite too. But Standoff is a great episode too. It'll be interesting to see that one go up against some other episodes as we go along. A Woman Called Tiger Eye or A Kind of Princess?
A Kind of Princess.
Yeah, not even a question. Countdown to Nowhere or Bride of Bizarro? Now, Bride of Bizarro takes it for me. I think Countdown to Nowhere is just, it's got too many things going against it.
Yeah, I mean, the second version of it, when they added in the bumpers, made it a little bit better, but it's still nowhere near as good as Bride of Bizarro.
No, Bride of Bizarro is just, it's in a different league, Right, Troubled Waters or Alien Solution? Well, that one's an easy choice.
Alien Solution.
Of course. The Lair or The Russian Exchange Student?
The Lair.
I have to agree. I like The Russian Exchange Student more than some, but yeah. Golem or Test of Time? Now, for me, this one's easy. Test of Time. I think Golem is very good, but it's not Test of Time.
Yeah, plus the fact that Test of Time was written by David Gerald, and you always get top-notch stuff from him. So, Test of Time.
I mean, he's literally the creator of the Tribble. So, Yeah, I still love that. Yeah, he's one of the few people that had a cameo when they did the Trials and Tribulations DS9 episode. He puts on a red shirt and walks past in one of the scenes.
Yeah.
I love it when they do stuff like that. Test of time, anyway. Right. Rebirth Parts 1 and 2 or Sons of Icarus. Now, for me, Rebirth takes this one easily, even though Sons of Icarus is also good.
Yeah. The only thing that Sons of Icarus, apart from the good story that it has going for it, is it's an early appearance of Wayne Brady.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Rebirth is by far the more it's got more gravitas to it. The fact that, that whole sequence when he's sitting down at the table with Jonathan and Martha, and he's saying, "Oh, I could go here and do this, or I could go here and do this." He's having essentially the starts of a nervous breakdown because of the things that he can and cannot do. So
And not even just that scene. Like, there was also that other really powerful scene where, like, Clark gets up early to do like the chores on the farm, and it's like the sun's rising, and like Martha comes out while he's digging the field and starts talking to him about when Jonathan went off to war and how she didn't know whether she could love someone that had taken another life.
Yeah.
And it's just a really interesting conversation about how things aren't always black and white.
This
Yeah,
is
Rebirth takes that.
Yeah, and that moment is one of the few times where we actually got to see Salome Jens really acting.
Yeah, Martha Kent did not get anywhere near enough stuff to do in this, which is mad. I mean, I guess part of it is they probably didn't know whether they would kill Jonathan Kent at some points. They probably figured we'll focus on Jonathan more because we know he's probably not going to be around towards the end. But then they never killed him. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. And even that's just my theory as to why Jonathan got more to do. Maybe it's just because they liked Stuart Whitman a lot and they just wanted to give him more to do. I don't know. Either way, Rebirth. Sorry, Sons of Icarus. Not this time. Right, Nightmare Island or Superboy Rest in Peace. Neither are episodes that are particularly good, but Nightmare Island is my favorite of the two, personally.
Yeah. I mean, Phil Fondacaro is so great in Nightmare Island.
He's always great. I don't think I've ever seen him give a bad performance.
Yeah, even when he's in bad productions, he's always the best in the production.
Yeah. And Superboy Rest in Peace. Am I right in remembering? Because you know how I am. Sometimes I accidentally swap episode titles for multiple things. Rest in Peace is the Betsy Russell Terminator ripoff episode, isn't
Yes.
it? Okay, good. I'm getting better with that stuff just purely because we've been doing these commentaries for so long. My memory is improving, but yeah. Nightmare Island.
That just proves that you're taking your ginkgo biloba.
I don't even know what that is. I've literally never heard those words. Right. Nightmare Island.
Yep.
Okay, so Super Menace or Hell Breaks Loose? I prefer Hell Breaks Loose because it's so different to the usual Superboy thing. But Superboy Menace is the first Red Kryptonite episode. Plus, it's Metallo, and you've got all those hilarious comedy moments that I just love. This is a tough one.
Yeah, this is kind of like when we were talking about Luthor Unleashed.
Yeah,
there was
I can make the argument for both of these.
Yeah, there was so much potential left with that. Red Kryptonite. And then we never saw it again.
Yeah, and I think Super Menace might actually lose a point purely because Red Kryptonite never came back. I think maybe if we had maybe one more Red Kryptonite story, Super Menace would increase in my estimations a little bit. But the fact that it had that potential but then never actually paid it off, actually I think hurts it slightly for this one. Whereas I don't think it did with Luthor Unleashed, because technically we did get some of that Luthor development. We just didn't get it with Scott Wells.
Yeah.
Plus, Hell Breaks Loose. It's got that brilliant flying shot that I love, and I don't know. I've always been a sucker for black and white sequenced episodes with
and the use of Gerard and Stacy as the original characters back in the 30s.
Plus, I quite like, even though he's not in it very much, I quite like the guy that plays the mob boss in that episode. I forget what his character name actually was, but yeah, I thought he was. I mean, it was a very small part, clearly, because he's only in like 2 scenes at the most. But I thought he did a good job. I thought he established that character very quickly. He had a great look. He was very intimidating. And yeah, I thought that entire episode is just shot beautifully. I love how smoky sort of all the black and white scenes are, because it's the inside of like a jazz club in the 20s. Like everybody are just, they're all smoking like chimneys, you know. You
Yeah.
just know that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell breaks
I
loose,
think
definitely.
I just think on an artistic level, it's just got more going for it. Even though Super Menace has, before I move on to the next thing, I will just say Super Menace is not going unnoticed when they had like directorial flair moments, like when they had Superboy and Metallo doing that standoff and they had a literal fucking tumbleweed blow past. Like,
Yeah.
that stuff is so good. But I don't know, I just feel like Hell Breaks Loose, especially considering it's an episode that had a guest writer who wrote 1 episode of the show and that was it, because it was the final season. Yeah, it's one of those special episodes.
Yeah.
Because often when there's an episode written by one writer and they don't come back, it's because their 1 episode sucked. But that's the exact opposite in this case. Like, it was great. The show wasn't continuing. Hell Breaks Loose.
Yep.
Okay, Mind Games or Obituary for a Superhero. Oh, I wonder about this one. Yeah. This one's not going to take any discussion. Right. Hollywood or A Change of Heart, parts 1 and 2. For me, Hollywood takes this one.
Yeah.
It's the same reasons as I had for Hell Breaks Loose. I love going back and doing almost a period piece. It's a really interesting thing that you don't see very often.
Yeah, and it's also an early appearance by actress Gail O'Grady from NYPD Blue.
Yes. It's funny with Gail O'Grady because she's one of those actors who, when I was watching the episode back, I was like, I know her face from something. I had no idea what. Yeah, it's always good when you see an actor start off in something like this and then go on to become huge. Hollywood.
Yep.
Not to say A Change of Heart is necessarily bad. It's kind of a forgettable season opener.
Well, the thing
if it was
about
actually a Lex Luthor story like it was supposed to be, with instead of Tommy Puck, it would have been better. But
not saying anything bad about Bill Mumy.
Oh, absolutely not. We love Bill Mumy here. Like, we love Tommy Puck. It's just that particular story, you can tell that it's supposed to be Luthor, and it would have been better if it was.
Yeah.
If they had done a Tommy Puck introduction episode the season before, that would have been a different story, because then it's a returning villain. Maybe the whole episode would have gone up in my estimation. But even Michael Debar can't save that one for me. I just think it's kind of a boring episode.
But he is so great in it, like he always is.
He's great. He just can't save the episode for me. Anyway, Hollywood. The Beast and Beauty or Knick-Knack? This one's Knick-Knack, yeah. The Kryptonite Kid or Into the Mystery? Now, this one is tough because both are top tier episodes. For me, Into the Mystery takes it, even though I love Kryptonite Kid.
Yeah.
I just think Into the Mystery had such an interesting point of view.
Into the Mystery is the better of the two, even though they're both great. Also both season 4 episodes. So, but Into the Mystery is the better of the two, just because it's one of those stories that we didn't really get to see too often outside of, Rebirth. It's a supernatural episode, which we know he has no effect on he has no invulnerability to that. But it's also him coming to terms with the fact that he can't save everybody. And in this case, especially someone that he loves.
Yeah. It's a great episode. I think it's another one that James DeMatteis wrote, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah. The only thing that would have made it even better, in my opinion, is if instead of it was, his Aunt Cassandra, and this is
could have been Pa. Could have been
Yeah.
Pa Kent. That would have been, yeah. If we ever have James DeMatteis on the show, we'll have to ask if that was ever under consideration, like if that was ever even a potential route they could have taken with it. I'd be interested to know his answer, because who knows? Maybe that's how it started. Maybe that's how he pitched it. It would have had to have been a very different story, because obviously the whole thing with tracking them down and all of that would have been considerably easier. But
yeah,
into the mystery. It's just too interesting an episode, even though Kryptonite Kid is great. West of Alpha Centauri or Bringing Down the House? You know my answer for this one. West of Alpha Centauri every time.
Yeah. I mean, it's clearly a Star Trek episode done with Superboy.
Yeah.
But
and that's why I love it.
Out of the two, it is the better, and Bringing Down the House is it's a little cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the hook at the end.
I'm even forgetting what the hook at the end was for that
episode.
That
he was killing women and using their screams in his songs. He's basically a serial.
God, yeah, I forgot about that detail. Yeah.
I mean, Leif Garrett is great.
Yeah, I mean, I remembered the whole thing, he's a serial killer that tortures people in his basement and all of that. I completely forgot that the screams were being used in the songs.
Yeah.
That's a really creepy detail. And I do remember when we actually put out a poll for our viewers a while back saying, what are your favorite and least favorite episodes? A load of people put down Bringing Down the House, just purely because one person said that they actually got banned from watching the show by their parents because, of course, they come downstairs and he's watching Superboy, and that's the episode they happen to see, the episode with the sex dungeon. And you're not watching this show anymore, they said. So yeah. West of Alpha Centauri every time. The Power of Evil or The Secrets of Superboy? For me, it's Power of Evil, but it's close because neither are very good.
Yeah, I mean, even though Secrets of Superboy is a knick-knack episode, it's still a clip show, which kind of brings it down a couple of notches. Power of Evil, yes, there are some issues that we've discussed. The fact that they introduced this character of Seth out of nowhere as a love interest for Lana, and then they kill him off at the end of the episode, only to have him resurrected in the other dimensional plane. But Key Luke is by far amazing in it, as always.
Yeah. Honestly, as much as we love Gilbert Gottfried, and we're big fans clearly of like the creator of Knick Knack, and like he wrote this episode as well as the introduction. Like, yeah. He's showrunner, Mark Jones.
Yep.
Yeah. So Secrets of Superboy. It's not the worst clip show that Superboy ever had, but at the end of the day, it's still a clip show. And Key Luke is he's good in Power of Evil. And it's a shame that episode isn't better, but there you go. Neela and the Beast or Back to Oblivion? I think Neela and the Beast, but I do like Back to Oblivion. I've said a lot about how much I like Back to Oblivion, just for Abe Vigoda.
Yeah, I mean, Abe Vigoda is so great as Mr. Wagner.
Oh yeah,
and I mean,
Neela and the Beast has that great sort of Star Trek-esque twist at the end, where you think this beast that's the bad guy the entire time turns out he's actually just in love with Neela. Is that right? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not been that long, but yeah, it's a fun little twist at the end, and I don't know. Yeah. They're both episodes that I have great affection for, but they're not top tier episodes either. So that makes it really tricky. I think Neela and the Beast probably takes it, even though I love Abe Vigoda in everything that I've seen him in.
Yeah, no question.
Meet Mixtures Pitlick or Yellow Peril's Spell of Doom, as I've got it listed here. That's what I get for copying and pasting from Superman homepage. Mixus Pitlick for me. I know you
Yeah.
like Yellow Perry, but I just didn't think it was a very good episode.
It could have been better, and there are moments that show it could have been better.
Oh yeah, it's got, like all the bad episodes, there are moments that I think are genuinely good. Like,
Yeah, but
yeah, even
Meat,
episodes like Troubled Waters or Invisible People have moments that you can see that there's potential there.
yeah, yeah, but Meat Mixes Pitlick is the better of the two.
Yeah. I'm sure Yellow Perry will get some redemption when it goes up against some other choices in a bit. Carnival will stand up and get knocked down. Well, that one's an easy choice,
Carnival.
obviously. Right, Threesome or Superstar? Threesome. It's got to
Yeah,
be, surely.
yeah.
Special Effects or Johnny Casanova?
Special effects.
Yeah. Invisible People or Out of Luck? Well, that's Out of Luck, surely.
Yeah, definitely.
Program for Death or Phantom of the Third Division? I would say Program for Death, just because it's the episode we got all of the development for Andy.
Yeah, and we finally find out why he is such a putz.
Yeah. His father, I love his father in that episode. You know, it just, Andy makes so much more sense once you've seen his father. Right. Brimstone or Werewolf? I would go Brimstone personally.
Yeah, as much
It's,
as good.
it's a tough choice because they're both, as far as like slightly Halloween, supernatural, horror themed episodes go, like they're both pretty good ones. But I think Brimstone gets it just because I like the character. I like how humorous he is. We talk about it a lot, but that end line about, he's been dead a long time, he was just too stupid to realize it. Great.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
and it's Philip Michael Thomas.
he was great.
As great
I
as
don't, I
Paula
don't know
Marshall
him
is,
from,
yeah, as great as Paula Marshall is
and
in
she
Werewolf,
was very good.
I mean, she's the way she and Clark act. It's almost like a prototypical, prototype of Lois and Clark later.
Yeah, we had a nice comment on our commentary from the episode, and they just said, Paula Marshall would have been an excellent Lois Lane, and yeah, she definitely would. She would have been great. Yeah, Brimstone. I'm sorry, Brimstone just takes it. It's got Brimstone has just got a really fun story, but it's also just it's got this guest character that I want to see more of, and it's annoying that he never came back. Like,
Well,
he
he
could have
did
been
come back
fun.
in one issue of the tie-in comic, but that was it.
Yeah, I'm not going to count the tie-in comic though. It's technically it should count, but I wanted to see that actor again. Yeah, Brimstone. Basically, he's Constantine meets Shaft. Just 'cause he's got a sense of humor
with a little bit of Doctor Who thrown in for the mix.
I can see that. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Okay, Brimstone just took it. Oh, and now we still got Brimstone. Brimstone now or Program for Death? Now this is tricky because I would say these are about even for me. 1 for character development, 2 just for one particular character.
I know you're probably going to shoot me for this, but I'm going to say Program for Death.
No, I'm actually on the same page.
Yeah.
I think the character development that Andy got in that episode just can't be understated. I think it's significant because, let's face it, Andy was pretty insufferable in the early episodes. Yeah, Program for Death. Okay, Out of Luck or Special Effects? I think Special Effects, personally. Yeah. I like Out of Luck a lot, but special effects, man, I love all the creature effects in that episode, and
the fact that it was one of the monsters was Barry Myers.
Yeah, he was playing a character called Caliban, and yeah, special effects. Okay, Threesome or Carnival? Carnival for me. I like Threesome, not as much as Carnival though. Like, Carnival is probably top 5. Threesome probably just under top 10 for me. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite Luther story. It's not my favorite Metallo story. And Vexman, I could pretty much take or leave. You know, we've made our feelings on Vexman known. Like, as much as we like the actress that was doing it and the character is pretty fun, it would have been better if it was Neela. Just because that character at least would have been set up in an earlier storyline.
Yeah.
So yeah, Carnival. Meet Mixie or Neela and the Beast? This is tough. Yeah, Meet Mixie probably takes it, but Neela and the Beast, that hurt doing that to Neela and the Beast, because I would say they are about even. Right, Power of Evil or Alpha Centauri? Alpha Centauri for me. Into the Mystery or Knick Knack? Into the Mystery for me again.
Yeah.
Hollywood or Mind Games?
Mind Games.
Yeah. Hell Breaks Loose or Nightmare Island? I think that one's obvious based on our earlier discussion. As much as we like Phil Fondacaro, it's still not a great episode. He's mostly the best thing about it. So, Rebirth or Test of Time?
Rebirth.
Yeah, I have to agree. The Lair or Alien Solution?
Alien Solution.
Yeah. Bride of Bizarro or A Kind of Princess?
Bride of Bizarro.
Road to Hell or No Line Enemy? This one's harder. This one's much harder. I'm going to go No Line Enemy personally.
Yeah.
Even though I love Road to Hell.
Because, Road to Hell is the weaker of the two road episode. Well, road parters. No Thine Enemy is just such great character development with Lex, because we finally see why he is so messed up.
According to him, we've talked about before that, it's Lex telling his own story in that VR thing. It's probably been slightly altered to make himself a little more justified, perhaps.
Yeah, but you know what?
I mean, Luther is pretty much the definition of an unreliable narrator, so...
Yeah, but Lena kind of confirms a lot of the details.
Yeah. Okay. No Line Enemy. Sorry, Ron Eli. We love Road to Hell. It's just No Line Enemy is just better. Luther Unleashed or The Haunting of Andy McAllister? I'd say Luther Unleashed.
Yeah.
Bizarro, The Thing of Steel or Kryptonite Kills?
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the episodes, Kryptonite Kills was directed by Jackie Cooper. It is of the couple that he did direct, this is the better of the two. And it's the first introduction to Kryptonite, which we did get to see again and again and again.
Plus, it had great continuity with that chunk of Kryptonite. That episode was still being referenced in season 2, which, let's face it, was a rarity. The fact that the continuity was so on point with that chunk of Kryptonite is probably worth a mention. I don't know. I like both, but I would personally put Bizarro first.
Yeah.
I mean, Kryptonite Kills is just an introduction of Kryptonite's story, but it's not an adaptation of anything. Whereas Bizarro, like we talked about with Luther Unleashed, was almost one-to-one recreated from the comic books. Obviously, they made some changes, but not that many. Jackson and Hyde or Wish for Armageddon? I think that's easy.
Wish for Armageddon.
Mindscape or Microboy?
Mindscape.
Yeah. Cat and Mouse or Superboy's Deadly Touch?
Cat and Mouse.
Rites of Passage or The Fixer?
Rites of Passage.
Agreed. Metallo or With This Ring?
Metallo.
Revenge of the Alien or Road's Not Taken? Well, Road's Not Taken.
Yeah, Road's not taken.
Superboy Lost or Young Dracula? I think we went Superboy Lost up against Run Dracula Run earlier, so this is interesting. for me, Superboy Lost still takes it, but it is closer with this than it is maybe with the other one. Even though I
Yeah,
did get
what
Young
kind of
Dracula
brings it
confused
down,
earlier.
Young Dracula? What kind of brings Young Dracula down is, as you said, the poor Dracula costume on Lloyd Bachner, and Lloyd Bachner is usually a better actor, and he's kind of like chewing the scenery in this.
Yeah, it's funny because I think Young Dracula has a better story, but Run Dracula Run is better executed, if that makes sense. So it's just they're both about the same level, but for different reasons, which makes it
Right.
hard. I still think Superboy Lost takes it though, to be honest. It's got more, what's the word? The fact that it's tied to the George Reeves show, I think it gives it a bit of a legacy, I guess, to that
Yeah.
episode. So you happy with that? Superboy Lost?
Yep.
Cool. Superboy Lost again, but this time up against Roads Not Taken. I think Roads Not Taken would.
Yeah, this is a no brainer.
That one's an easy one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rites of Passage or Metallo?
Metallo.
I think really. I think maybe Rites of Passage, but I mean there are probably more things in Rites of Passage that I dislike than Metallo. Actually, saying it because I don't like any of the stuff in Rites of Passage, like when Clark goes back and he meets his high school bully and he's being picked on again. It was being played for comedy, and I just didn't think it was particularly funny. That's the only thing that lets that two-parter down for me. I didn't think any of that stuff was necessary. It just took away from the actually interesting story that they were telling. So, yeah. Metallo, okay. Cat and Mouse or Mindscape? Mindscape for me.
Yeah.
Wish for Armageddon or Bizarro: The Thing of Steel?
Oh, this is a tough one. This is really tough one.
I would say Wish for Armageddon, personally, just because I think take away the fact that Bizarro is an adaptation of a comic and a first appearance for Bizarro and all of that, I think just Wish for Armageddon, just generally, it's just a stronger story. Personally, yeah. I just think it has a lot more going for it.
Plus, Robert Maiano is so great as Garrett Morris.
Yeah. And the other guy,
Waters. Garrett Morris is the black guy from SNL.
Right. Yeah. So Wish for Armageddon. It's just a great episode. Okay, Luther Unleashed or No Line Enemy? Well, that one's easy. Given two Luther episodes, No Line Enemy takes that. Bride of Bizarro or Alien Solution?
Oh.
I think Alien Solution is slightly better personally, but that's just because I don't feel like all the comedy in Bride of Bizarro works for me. Some of it does, some of it doesn't. I do think the ending for Bride of Bizarro is a little bit lackluster as well. It's just a load of Luther clones and suddenly there's an explosion and that's it. There's not that much really going on.
Right.
Whereas Alien Solution, he flies to space and all of that stuff. It's just, yeah. Let's try and skip through extra fast because I noticed we're only 15% of the way through and we've been going for nearly an hour. So Rebirth or Hell Breaks Loose? Personally, I would go with Hell Breaks Loose, but it's too close. It's too close.
Yeah, too close, but I'll go with Hell Breaks Loose on this as well.
Okay. Mind Games or Into the Mystery is another tough one.
Into the Mystery.
Agreed. Alpha Centauri or Mixus Pitlick?
Mixus Pitlick.
Carnival or Special Effects?
Carnival.
Agreed. Carnival or Mixus Pitlick? I would say Carnival again, personally.
Yeah.
Into the Mystery or Hell Breaks Loose? Into the Mystery.
Yeah.
I love Hell Breaks Loose, but Into the Mystery is just a stronger story. Alien Solution or No Line Enemy? No Line Enemy.
Yeah.
Armageddon or Mindscape? That is a tough one.
Armageddon.
I'm going to go... Okay. I was going to go Mindscape just purely for the look into Clark's psyche, but I want to keep this moving now because this is probably going to be one of our longest episodes in quite some time. Hopefully we haven't lost too many people. Metallo or Roads Not Taken?
Roads Not Taken.
Roads Not Taken or Wish for Armageddon?
Roads Not Taken.
Agreed. No Line Enemy or Into the Mystery? Two very experimental episodes by the same writer. This is an interesting one. Yeah, it's close, but I agree. Right, Into the Mystery or Roads Not Taken? Roads Not Taken. They're close, but I just think Roads Not. Yeah. Carnival or Into the Mystery? I think Into the Mystery again, even though Carnival is great.
Yeah.
Carnival or No Line Enemy? Now that's a tough one. Because they are about equal for me.
Carnival.
Wish for Armageddon or Carnival?
That's a tough one.
Yeah. I would go Wish for Armageddon personally.
Yeah.
Even though it's not Randall Savage. No. Did I just call him Randall Savage? Sorry, yeah. Vandal Savage.
Vandal Savage.
Hey, don't be mean about Randy. Anyway, Wish for Armageddon or Carnival? Yeah, Wish for Armageddon.
Yeah.
Armageddon again versus Into the Mystery.
Into the Mystery.
Yeah, I agree. Mindscape or No Line Enemy?
Mindscape.
Yeah. Mindscape or Carnival?
Oof.
I prefer Mindscape, but it's so close. I just think Mindscape, we get to see Superboy's darkest fears, and it's things like his identity getting out there, finding out he's not human for some reason, like thinking he's a robot, even though he grew up.
Losing Lana
to himself, which is the weirdest thing. Yeah. Plus getting the shit beaten out of him by Lex Luger, which I'm sure was probably a fear that a lot of people had back then.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't want to fight Lex Luger, even today. I'm sure he can still kick my ass. Right, so Mindscape. Mixie or Solution?
Alien Solution.
Agreed. Metallo or Carnival? I think Carnival.
Yeah, Carnival.
Metallo or Alien Solution? This one's a bit harder for me.
Alien Solution.
Alien Solution. It's just that's the episode that kick-started Superboy's transition from very Earth-based threat to the supernatural or the alien, and that is a significant moment in the history of the show. And yeah, Alien Solution. Metallo or Mixus Pitlick? Oof. I think Metallo. As good as Mixus Pitlick is, I think Metallo is just better.
Yeah.
I think the character is better defined. I think Michael Callan's acting, not to say anything bad about Michael J. Pollard, but I do just think Michael Callan was better in his performance. He seemed to be
just those comedic moments at the beginning, in the car. It's kind of stuff that happens to everybody.
Yeah.
So,
and it's amazing because he's fumbling for the gun, trying to put the bullets in. He's dropping stuff and all of this. Doesn't he burn? His cigar falls from his mouth or something. He burns himself at one point.
Yeah, and every few seconds he's saying, "Oh damn! Oh damn!"
Yeah, but at the same time, he's pouring with sweat, and the look on his face, he's playing it dead straight, completely seriously. And it's while the scene is clearly played for comedy, you can also feel the desperation in Metallo at that moment. Well, he's not even Metallo yet, but you know what I mean. And I don't know, Mixus Pitlick, I think, while it's very good, and I do like Michael J. Pollard in the role, I know not everybody does. I don't know, I just feel like Michael Callan got the character just immediately. And okay, that's partly because it's a very different version of Metallo than we're used to. Like, he basically just made it his own. But that character was on screen from the first scene that he appeared. So, Metallo. Hell Breaks Loose or No Line Enemy? I'd say No Line Enemy, even though I love Hell Breaks Loose.
Yeah.
It's just a better episode. Hell Breaks Loose or Metallo? Hell Breaks Loose wins this one for me, personally.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Okay, Hell Breaks Loose or Alien Solution? I think Alien Solution would have to take it.
Yes.
Rebirth or Mixus Pitlick? Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Rebirth or Metallo?
Rebirth.
Rites of Passage or Alpha Centauri?
Alpha Centauri.
Yeah. Luther Unleashed or Metallo?
Metallo.
Agreed. Luther Unleashed or Alpha Centauri?
Luther Unleashed.
Oh, sorry. Shit. I accidentally clicked the wrong... I clicked Alpha Centauri, sorry. Oh dear, never mind. Hopefully it will ask us again at some point if our answers don't mesh or something. Right, Luther Unleashed or Rites of Passage?
Luther Unleashed.
Okay. Bride of Bizarro or Meet Mixus Pitlick?
Tough one.
I think Bride of Bizarro, personally.
Yeah, let's go with the Bride.
Bride versus Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Bride or Metallo? Didn't it just ask us that one? I could have sworn it did. Never mind. I think we said Bride, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Program for Death or Hell Breaks Loose?
Hell Breaks Loose.
Program for Death or Mixus Pitlick? Mixus Pitlick.
Yeah.
As much as, we appreciate the character development for Andy, Mixie. Program for Death or Luther Unleashed? That one's a little bit trickier. I agree. Program for Death or Alpha Centauri? Alpha Centauri, I would say.
You know what? You're right. Alpha Centauri is a better episode.
I appreciate the character development with Andy, but that's the best thing in it. Meeting his father's great, but I don't know. Alpha Centauri.
And George Harris does play his father very well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We can't. Yeah. We absolutely can't say enough about his performance, because you totally believe that that's father and son. Like, it's not even a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alpha Centauri. Superboy Lost or Rebirth?
Rebirth.
Yeah. Superboy Lost or Alpha Centauri? That's a tough one.
Alpha Centauri.
Lost or Unleashed?
I'm going to say Unleashed.
Yeah, I would put them very even, but I'll go with Unleashed. Superboy Lost or Rites of Passage? I would say Rites of Passage for that one.
Yeah.
Even though they are quite close. Mind Games or Bride of Bizarro? I think Mind Games. It's a better study of the characters, I think. Bride of Bizarro, it's just they offer very different things, but it really is just preference. Mind Games or No Line Enemy? I think No Line Enemy takes it, though.
Yeah.
If we're going to get deep in, if we getting deep into Lex Luthor's psyche, I think No Line Enemy just does it better.
Yeah, I mean, no, Mind Games was the start of getting into Lex's mind. Know Thine Enemy, it's more of a deep dive.
Yeah. And, we will say we do really respect Mind Games because it's the first episode that Sherman Howard wrote for the show. But No Line Enemy, it's better. I'm sorry. Mind Games or Hell Breaks Loose? That's slightly tougher. Now, personally, I prefer Hell Breaks Loose, but Mind Games is so close that no matter whichever one you choose, I'm happy to go with because they are so close.
Let's go with Mind Games on that.
Okay. Mind Games or Alien Solution?
Oh, that's a tough one.
With this one, I would go Mind Games. I do think Alien Solution should be credited with a lot, but I just think Mind Games. It's such a small scale episode. Like, it's just all in one little tiny set. But yeah, Mind Games.
Yeah,
I think it does a lot more with a lot less. Bizarro the Thing of Steel or The Bride of Bizarro? I think Bizarro the Thing of Steel, even though I do like Bride of Bizarro a great deal.
Yeah.
I just think it has more going for it. Bizarro the Thing of Steel or Mind Games? Mind Games.
Mind Games.
Thing of Steel or Hell Breaks Loose?
Hell Breaks Loose.
Okay. Thing of Steel or Rebirth?
Rebirth.
Cat and Mouse or Bride of Bizarro?
Cat and Mouse.
Cat and Mouse or Alien Solution?
Alien Solution on this one.
Yeah. Cat and Mouse or Rebirth? I'd say Rebirth. Cat and Mouse or Bizarro the Thing of Steel? Bizarro for me.
Yeah.
Cat and Mouse is a good clip show, but it's still a clip show. Special effects or Bride of Bizarro? I prefer special effects.
Yeah. This was our final appearance of Andy, so yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I love all the creature effects in that episode. Granted, I imagine that they were probably left over from horror films that had shot at that studio or something. They were probably reused from other productions because, let's face it, there's no way Superboy had the budget to build stuff like that. But yeah, special effects. Special effects on Mind Games. Mind Games for me.
Mind Games.
Special effects or Alien Solution? Alien Solution.
Alien Solution.
Haunting of Andy McAllister or Superboy Lost? Superboy Lost.
Yeah.
Me. Haunting of Andy McAllister or Young Dracula? I would say Young Dracula is slightly better.
Yeah.
Not by very much, but it's there. The Fixer or Young Dracula?
Fixer.
Yeah. Fixer or Superboy Lost?
Fixer.
Power of Evil or The Fixer?
I'm going to still say The Fixer.
Yeah. Power of Evil or Young Dracula? I would say Young Dracula.
Yeah.
Power of Evil or The Haunting of Andy McAllister?
Haunting of Andy McAllister.
Yeah. Brimstone or Superboy Lost? I would say Superboy Lost, but yeah, I'm fine with Brimstone. Brimstone or Rites of Passage? I would say Rites of Passage.
Yeah.
Brimstone or The Fixer?
Brimstone.
Test of Time or Luther Unleashed? Test of Time for me.
Yeah.
Test of Time or Metallo?
Metallo.
Test of Time or West of Alpha Centauri?
Test of Time.
Test of Time or Mitch's Pitlick? We're getting a lot of Test of Times right now.
I would say Test of Time.
Yeah. Kryptonite Kills or Luther Unleashed? I would say Luther Unleashed.
Yeah, same here.
Kryptonite or Superboy Lost?
Kryptonite Kills.
Okay. Kryptonite Kills or Brimstone? I'd say Brimstone.
Yeah.
Kryptonite Kills or The Fixer? Didn't we just answer that one and we said Kryptonite Kills? No, we said The Fixer, didn't we? I don't know. Kryptonite Kills or The Fixer? Let's do it again.
Fixer.
Superboy's Deadly Touch or Rites of Passage? I would say Rites of Passage.
Yeah.
Deadly Touch or Superboy Lost?
Deadly Touch.
I'd say they're about even for me, but we'll go with Deadly Touch. Deadly Touch or The Fixer? I'd say Deadly Touch again.
Yeah.
Deadly Touch or Brimstone? I would go Brimstone.
Yeah.
Kind of Princess or Brimstone?
Brimstone.
Kind of Princess or Superboy Lost? Superboy Lost.
Yeah.
Kind of Princess or The Haunting of Andy McAllister? I actually think a kind of Yeah, I think A Kind of Princess is better. A Kind of Princess or Young Dracula. I do prefer it to Young Dracula too.
Yeah.
With This Ring I Thee Kill or Superboy's Deadly Touch.
With This Ring.
With This Ring or Program for Death. I go Program for Death just for the character development.
Yeah, I mean, With This Ring is our introduction to Andy, and he's a jerk.
Yeah.
Program for Death. Now we see why. So yeah, I would go with Program for Death here.
Yeah. With This Ring or Rites of Passage. I go Rites of Passage.
Yeah.
With This Ring or Brimstone. This time I would go With This Ring.
Yeah.
Neela and the Beast or The Fixer. I'd say Neela and the Beast is my favorite.
Yeah.
Although I do like, we like The Fixer. It's just Neela is just better. Neela
I think
and the
Michael
Beast.
Manno likes it better than anybody else.
Yeah, just because he's bound to like those episodes more than anyone because he's got actual memories of shooting them. Let's face it, half the time the reason an episode is his favorite thing is just because of a behind the scenes thing that happened rather than the episode itself.
Yeah.
Okay, Neela and the Beast or Rites of Passage? I would say Rites of Passage.
Yep.
Neela and the Beast or Brimstone?
Brimstone.
I was going to say Neela and the Beast just for the twist at the end, but I'll go with Brimstone. I like that character well enough. Neela and the Beast or Superboy's Deadly Touch? I would go with Neela and the Beast.
Same here.
Revenge of the Alien or Mixus Pitlick?
Revenge of the Alien.
Revenge or Special Effects?
Revenge.
Revenge or Carnival? Carnival.
Yeah.
Or Mind Games? Revenge or Mind Gamers?
Mind Games.
Revenge or Alien Solution? So it's basically the two alien stories pitted against each other now. I think Revenge is the better of the two. But really, I've always thought of them as a trilogy, like one complete story in 3 parts.
Yeah, I mean...
But Revenge has, possessed Jonathan Kent and all of that stuff. So,
yeah.
And, Stuart Whitman was so good. And so he was fucking terrifying in those scenes. Like the scene where he's in the car with Lana and she doesn't realize until it's too late that there's something wrong with Pa.
Yeah.
He's really, really quite scary in that scene.
And the fact that, the look on her face when she's looking at him and she starts to realize it's almost like she's afraid he's going to R-word her.
Yeah, it's a really dark scene, and that's why the unnamed species of alien is, one of our favorite foes from Superboy. Anyway, let's move on. Knick-Knack or Mixus Pitlick? I think Knick-Knack. Knick-Knack or Special Effects? Special Effects.
Yeah.
Knick-Knack or Cat and Mouse? Knick-Knack.
Yep.
Knick-Knack or Rebirth? Rebirth.
Yeah.
Knick-Knack or Bizarro the Thing of Steel?
Bizarro.
Yeah, I would go with Bizarro as well. Jackson and Hyde or Mixus Pitlick? I would say Jackson and Hyde is slightly better.
Yeah.
Just because we've got that central performance. And we didn't get anywhere near enough Jackson-focused storylines in this show. So, yeah, Jackson and
Hyde.
That's
another reason why we should bump Rites of Passage up a little bit, because it was more Jackson-focused.
True. Hopefully it will be pretty high up our list anyway. Jackson and Hyde or Hell Breaks Loose?
Hell Breaks Loose.
Agreed. Jackson and Hyde or Cat and Mouse? I would say Jackson and Hyde again. Jackson and Hyde or Bizarro?
Bizarro.
Jackson and Hyde or Knick-Knack? Knick-Knack.
Yeah.
It's got to be. Microboy or Mixus Pitlick?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah. I think Mixus Pitlick, but Microboy is so close that it is really hard.
Let's go with Mixus Pitlick then.
And Mixus Pitlick had the better costume. Maybe that's all that we need. Microboy or Superboy's Deadly Touch?
Microboy.
I would say Microboy, yeah. And that ending for Microboy is just one of the better endings in the show. Microboy or Rites of Passage is a much harder one because as much as I love Rites of Passage, I wouldn't say it's one of the absolute best episodes. It just happens to be one of my favorites because it's significant. I do think Microboy, for all its problems, is maybe slightly better, but not by very much.
Yeah, I'd go with Microboy on this.
Yeah, I think that ending for Microboy is a big thing that takes it over the top for me. Microboy or Program for Death?
Program for Death.
Microboy or Luther Unleashed? I would say Microboy, personally. Threesome or Alpha Centauri?
Alpha Centauri.
Agreed. Threesome or Deadly Touch?
Threesome.
Threesome or Rites of Passage? Rites of Passage for me.
Yeah.
Threesome or Brimstone? Brimstone for me again. I think that character was just... I think it's just such a shame he didn't come back. Threesome or Neela and the Beast?
Threesome.
Road to Hell or Program for Death?
Oh.
This is a tough one. I think Road to Hell takes it for me, though.
Yeah.
Road to Hell or Knick Knack? Again, Road to Hell.
Yeah.
I like Knick Knack, but Road to Hell is better. Road to Hell or Special Effects? Again, I think Road to Hell. We've said a lot of very good things about special effects today, but Road to Hell is just... Yeah. Road to Hell or Revenge of the Alien, though? I think Revenge of the Alien might take it.
Yeah.
Road to Hell or Alien Solution is a little bit trickier, but I mean, if Road to Hell was better than Revenge of the Alien, it's got to be better than Alien Solution, considering we said Revenge of the Alien was better earlier out of the two Alien episodes. So, Hollywood or Program for Death? I think Hollywood. Despite Program for Death having all of that character development, I just think Hollywood is a rare masterpiece in season one. It's one of those few season one episodes that I just think could stand in any other season of the show. Whereas you can't say that about some episodes because they just wouldn't fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
What do you think? Hollywood then?
Yeah, Hollywood.
Hollywood or Knick Knack now? Hollywood again for me.
Yeah.
Hollywood or special effects?
Hollywood.
Although you could argue they're both the same thing these days, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Hollywood or Road to Hell? Road to Hell for me.
Yeah.
Hollywood or Alien Solution? Alien Solution. The Lair or Microboy?
Microboy.
Yeah. The Lair or The Fixer?
The Fixer.
Lair or Young Dracula?
I'm going to go with The Lair on this one.
Yeah, I agree. The Lair or Superboy Lost? I prefer Superboy Lost.
Yeah.
Even though The Lair is good, we enjoyed The Lair quite recently, I think. I don't even know if that episode's released by the time we're recording this, but maybe it has. Yeah, I think Superboy Lost. How about you?
Yeah.
Lair or Princess?
A kind of princess.
I agree. Out of Luck or Rites of Passage? I would say Rites of Passage again.
Yeah.
Luck or Kryptonite Kills?
That's a difficult one.
Yeah. I think Kryptonite Kills takes it personally. I liked Out of Luck, but I didn't like it quite that much. Right, Kryptonite Kills. Out of Luck or Young Dracula? I would say this time Out of Luck.
Yeah.
Out of Luck or A Kind of Princess? I would say A Kind of Princess.
Same.
It's one of the few human-based threat episodes in the show that I think really just worked. So, Out of Luck or The Lair? I'd say The Lair.
Out of Luck.
Out of Luck?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that. Nightmare Island or With This Ring?
With This Ring.
Nightmare Island or Superboy Lost? I would say Superboy Lost.
Yeah.
Nightmare Island or Young Dracula? Young Dracula.
Yeah.
Nightmare Island or Power of Evil?
Nightmare Island.
Yeah. Again, Nightmare Island versus The Haunting of Andy McAllister.
I'm going to go with The Haunting of Andy McAllister on this one.
Yeah, I agree. The Basement or Meet Mr. Mixus Pitlick? I am really struggling saying Mixus Pitlick today. The Basement. Okay. Basement or Hollywood?
Basement.
Basement or No Line Enemy? I would go No Line Enemy. Basement or Road to Hell? Road to Hell.
Yep.
Every day. Basement or Alien Solution? Alien Solution.
Yeah. I mean, they both have similar premises to them. You know, both an alien that is taking possession of people.
Yeah.
But Alien Solution did it so much better in so many ways.
Yeah. I almost think that The Basement might have been slightly better if they actually established that it was maybe an alien of the same species as Alien Solution. I think making it a callback to an earlier episode might have taken what is already a very good episode and just raised it just a little bit. That might have made the difference in this one, but Alien Solution, yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Superboy or Power of Evil? This is a tough one because neither are particularly good episodes, really.
I'm going to go with Mr. and Mrs. Superboy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Mr. and Mrs. Superboy or Nightmare Island?
Mr. and Mrs. Superboy.
Rest in Peace or Secrets of Superboy?
Rest in Peace.
Rest in Peace or Power of Evil?
Rest in Peace.
Russian Exchange Student or Nightmare Island? I'd go Russian Exchange Student.
Yeah.
Russian Exchange Student or Andy McAllister's Haunting episode? I go Russian Exchange Student, but
yeah,
it's not better by very much. They're pretty much even. They're both sort of very middle of the road episodes. But Russian Exchange Student, that or Young Dracula?
Russian Exchange Student.
War of the Species or Rest in Peace? Again, both very similar ideas in a way because they're both sort of robot assassin stories, aren't they? In a way.
Yeah, but I think Rest in Peace does it a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree. I like the actors in War of the Species, but I think Rest in Peace is slightly better.
Yeah.
War of the Species or Secrets of Superboy? And we're only halfway through. We'll try and get through the rest of them as quickly as we can. Species or Secrets?
Species.
Species or Power of Evil? I'd say Power of Evil. Okay, we'll go with Species. Abandon Earth or Young Dracula? I go Abandon Earth.
Yeah, same here.
Abandon Earth or Kind of Princess? The Kind of Princess.
Yeah.
Abandon Earth or The Lair?
Abandon Earth.
I agree. Abandon Earth or Out of Luck? I'd go Abandon Earth again.
Yeah.
Succubus or Young Dracula? Young Dracula.
Succubus.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Succubus or Abandon Earth? Please do not say Succubus again.
No. This is Abandon Earth on this one.
Okay. Succubus or The Lair?
Succubus.
Succubus or Out of Luck? I'd go Out of Luck.
Out of Luck.
Revenge from the Deep or Young Dracula? Young Dracula, surely.
Yeah.
Revenge from the Deep or Rest in Peace?
Rest in Peace.
Revenge from the Deep or Power of Evil? This time I would go Revenge from the Deep.
Yeah.
Revenge from the Deep or War of the Species? War of the Species for me.
Yeah.
Not even a difficult question, that one. Run, Dracula, Run or Haunting of Andy McAllister? I'd go Haunting.
Same here.
Run, Dracula, Run or War of the Species? Run, Dracula, Run this time, I would say.
Yeah.
although they're very close. Run, Dracula, Run, or Nightmare Island. Nightmare Island for me, but I mean, that's whatever you choose, I'll go with. Which one would you?
I would agree with you on this one.
Nightmare Island. Okay. Run, Dracula, Run, or Superboy, Rest in Peace.
Very tough one.
I would personally go Run, Dracula, Run this time.
This time, yeah, I would agree with you on that.
I think Superboy, Rest in Peace, there's a few areas where if the direction had been taken up a notch, like little things like when we were seeing the POV shot of the robot, we talked about it in our commentary, you know, if they had like text on screen, like just little things to make it obvious that we're seeing from a robot's eyes, it might have taken that episode up slightly.
Yeah.
Anyway, A Woman Called Tiger Eye or Mr. and Mrs. Superboy?
Mr. and Mrs. Superboy.
Tiger Eye or War of the Species? I would go War of the Species.
War of the Species. Yeah.
Tiger Eye or Power of Evil?
Power of Evil.
Tiger Eye or Secrets of Superboy?
Secrets of Superboy.
Invisible People or Run, Dracula, Run?
Run, Dracula, Run.
Invisible People or Power of Evil? Power of Evil.
Yeah, same here.
Invisible versus Tiger Eye.
Ugh.
I prefer Invisible People, but I know that some people do genuinely like Tiger Eye.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Invisible People, then, I guess. Invisible People or Secrets of Superboy?
Secrets of Superboy.
Yeah. Yellow Perry or Out of Luck? I prefer Out of Luck, personally.
As much as I love Yellow Perry, yeah, I'm gonna go with you on this one.
Okay. Yellow Perry or Run, Dracula, Run? Again, I would go Run, Dracula, Run, but they're basically even for me, so whichever one you prefer, I'll go with.
Let's go with Yellow Perry on this one.
Okay. Yellow Perry or Young Dracula? I'd go with Young Dracula. Although, I did think that Young Dracula was worse than Run, Dracula, Run to some extent. But performance is better in Run, Dracula, Run, but maybe the story is better in Young Dracula. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Yellow Perry or Young Dracula then? Which one?
Let's go with Young Dracula on this one.
Okay. Perry or Mr. and Mrs. Superboy?
Perry.
Perry or Haunting? I'd go
Perry.
Haunting. Perry?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go with Perry. Bringing Down the House or Succubus?
Succubus.
I prefer Bringing Down the House, but it is a weird episode, so let's move on from that one. Bringing Down the House or Run, Dracula, Run? Run, Dracula, Run.
Dracula, Run.
Down the House or Power of Evil? I would say, in this case, Power of Evil.
Yeah.
Although there's not much between them, personally. Bringing Down the House or The Invisible People? I'd say Bringing Down the House is better.
Yeah.
Not by very much, but it's enough. Bringing Down the House or Secrets of Superboy?
Secrets of Superboy.
Yeah. Phantom of the Third Division or The Lair? I think The Lair is probably the better of those two.
Yeah.
Phantom or Rest in Peace? I'd say Rest in Peace, but there is stuff in Phantom that I really like as well. Rest in Peace.
Yeah, let's go
Phantom.
with Rest in Peace.
Phantom would need far more done to it to fix it. Rest in Peace would have just needed maybe a few extra effect shots. That was it.
And that's why we did that rewrite on it recently. So
yeah. Phantom or Secrets of Superboy?
Phantom.
I think Phantom, yeah. Secrets, it's a clip show, so Phantom or Revenge from the Deep? I would say Phantom.
Same.
Phantom or War of the Species? Again, I would say Phantom.
Yep.
Little Hercules or Russian Exchange Student? Russian Exchange
Student. Yeah.
Yeah. Hercules versus Third Division.
Third Division.
Hercules or Secrets of Superboy?
I'm going to say Secrets of Superboy here.
Yeah. Hercules or invisible people? Little Hercules every day.
Yeah.
Hercules or bringing down the house? Bringing down the house, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To be human or young Dracula? To be
human.
Again, to be human or kryptonite kills?
To be human.
Okay, to be human or threesome? Again, I would go to be human.
Yeah.
Again, to be human or with this ring ID kill?
With this ring ID kill.
To be human or brimstone? I'd go to be human.
Yeah.
Who is Superboy or young Dracula?
I'm going to go with young Dracula on this one.
I agree. Who is Superboy or War of the Species? War of the
Who is
Species.
Superboy?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
we'll go
for
with
the fact that, you have that great moment between him and Lana at the end, just before he rushes off.
True. Okay. Who is Superboy or Nightmare Island?
I'm going to go Nightmare Island.
Yeah, they're about the same for me. Phil Fondacaro gets Nightmare Island. That's it. Who is Superboy and who is Superboy or Superboy Rest in Peace? I mean, who is Superboy? Surely.
Yeah.
Rest in Peace. I wouldn't be surprised if it's second to last, if not last. Who is Superboy or Run Dracula Run?
I'm going to say Run
Superboy
Dracula.
Rest in Peace is not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of Obituary for a Superhero. That's the one that I imagine will be last.
Right.
Sorry. So, yeah, who is Superboy or Run Dracula Run? Who did you just
I'm going to say Run Dracula Run on this one.
I agree. Mutant or Yellow Perry? I personally prefer Mutant, but if you want to go with Yellow Perry, I don't mind with this one.
Yeah. I would go with Yellow Perry on this one.
Okay. Mutant or War of the Species? With this one, I would go Mutant, just because I like the twist that the ones you think are mutants aren't, and the one that you don't think is a mutant actually is. I think that's just a fun little ending.
Yeah.
Even though I do like War of the Species ending quite a lot, like when he uses his heat vision to turn the sand into glass, it's a pretty fun use of his powers, but Mutant. Mutant or Run Dracula Run? Run Dracula Run, I would say.
Yeah.
Mutant or Rest in Peace? I'd say Rest in Peace this time.
Yeah, same.
Mutant or Phantom?
I'm going to say Phantom.
Werewolf or Mr. and Mrs. Superboy? Personally, I think Werewolf this time.
Yes.
Werewolf or Abandon Earth?
Abandon Earth.
Werewolf or Russian Exchange? Russian Exchange, surely.
Yeah.
Werewolf or Yellow Perry? Now, that one might be tougher for you. I prefer Werewolf.
Oh. Basing it mostly on, who I like better, Paula Marshall or Elizabeth Kiefer. Oh, I'm going to have to go with Werewolf.
Werewolf or Young Dracula?
I'm going to say Young Dracula on this.
Yeah, I agree. Superstar or Mr. and Mrs. Superboy? I think Mr. and Mrs. Superboy. I know that's probably not going to be a popular opinion with our fans, because I know Mr. and Mrs. Superboy is usually on people's least favourite list.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Superstar, while it has a lot going for it, I don't feel like it quite sticks the landing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of potential that's not quite realised.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on this one.
Although, the bad guy or bad girl from Superstar, maybe she could have been an interesting one to throw into threesome or something. Although she was in a wheelchair, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Might have made it a little bit harder to shoot logistically, but who cares? she would have been fun. So yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Superboy. Superstar or Revenge from the Deep?
Superstar.
Yeah. Superstar or Rest in Peace? I prefer Rest in Peace.
Yeah.
Superstar or Mutant? I would say Superstar this time.
Yeah.
Superstar or Phantom? I prefer Phantom.
Yeah.
Back to Oblivion or Nightmare Island? Back to
Back to
Oblivion.
Oblivion.
Oblivion or Succubus?
Oblivion.
Again, I would go Oblivion. Oblivion or Superboy Lost? Superboy Lost takes this one for me. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Oblivion or Abandon Earth? Abandon Earth, I would say.
Yeah.
Oblivion or Out of Luck? I would say Oblivion. Although Out of Luck is probably on about the same level. But Out of Luck, I mean, Patrick Kupo is great. But Abe Vigoda is Abe Vigoda.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to Oblivion then. Paranoia or Neela and the Beast? Paranoia, surely.
Yes.
Paranoia or Knick-Knack? Again, I would say Paranoia.
Yep.
Paranoia or Road to Hell is a little bit trickier. I would go
I'm gonna
Paranoia.
go Road to Hell.
Road to Hell?
Yeah.
I'd put them about even. I think Paranoia is my preferred episode, but I'd know Road to Hell. It's the ending for Roads Not Taken, so let's give it that. Paranoia or special effects? Paranoia, I would say.
Yeah.
Paranoia or The Basement? Paranoia.
Yep.
The Basement's good, but it's, it doesn't have Jack Larson and Noel Neal in it. Paranoia or Alien Solution, though, that is tricky. I'd go Paranoia, personally.
All right.
It's just a gut feeling with that one, to be honest. I'm not basing it on anything in particular. Kryptonite Kid or Neela and the Beast? I'd say Kryptonite Kid.
Same here.
Kryptonite Kid or Knick-Knack? Again, I would say Kryptonite Kid.
Agreed.
Kryptonite Kid or Paranoia?
Paranoia.
Yeah. Kryptonite Kid, sorry, or special effects Kryptonite Kid, I would say.
Yeah.
Kryptonite Kid or The Basement? Again, I would go Kryptonite Kid. Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what this website needs. It needs a button that just says flip a coin. Because on this one, it genuinely is. I'm going to go with The Basement, just because this is a combined list, so I'll take on some of yours as well. Kryptonite Kid or Hollywood? I would say Hollywood is my favourite of the two, but Kryptonite Kid is... It's close, but I'm going to go with Hollywood. Metamorphosis or Neela and the Beast?
Metamorphosis.
Agreed. Metamorphosis or Knick-Knack? I'd go Knick-Knack.
Same.
Metamorphosis or Program for Death?
I'm going to go Program for Death on this one.
Okay. Metamorphosis or With This Ring I Thee Kill? I'd say With This Ring.
Same.
We've made it clear that we do like Rowdy Roddy Piper a lot in Metamorphosis, but it's not the best episode to showcase his abilities, whether it's as an actor or as a fighter. Metamorphosis or Brimstone? I would say Brimstone.
Same.
Metamorphosis or Threesome? I would go Metamorphosis. But that's only because, I don't know, Threesome it's probably my least favourite Luther and Metallo episode. The fact that it's both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Darla Goes Ballistic or Neela and the Beast? I would say Darla.
Darla Goes Ballistic.
Darla Goes Ballistic or Jackson and Hyde? Again, I would go Darla.
Agreed.
Darla or Basement?
Darla.
Darla or Revenge of the Alien? Again, I would go Darla with this one.
Yeah.
Just because it was about time Tracy Roberts had something really meaty to work on, acting-wise,
Yeah.
So yeah, Darla. Okay, Darla or No Line Enemy, though? That's harder. That one I would have to go No Line Enemy.
Yeah.
Darla or Mind Games? So 2 Sherman Howard episodes up against each other right now. 2 episodes he wrote, I mean. I would say that out of the 2, Mind Games is my favourite. But Darla has so much going for it.
Yeah, I mean, the one drawback to Mind Games is no Darla.
Yeah. But she wasn't really needed in that episode.
Yeah, although we have talked about what we would have done as a companion episode, just her sitting in the car listening to the radio.
Yeah. That would have been a fun little twist ending, though, or just something that could have happened in the episode. It could just have Lex go. You'd think Darla would have come to help us by now, and you could just cut to Darla in the car with the radio on, just dancing or something to some music, just yeah. She's just losing track of time. She's just listening to the radio. Yeah, I would say Mind Games, but it is very close.
Yes.
Okay, Stand Up and Get Knocked Down or Neela and the Beast. I think that one's
Neela and the Beast.
Yeah. Stand Up or Mr. and Mrs. Superboy. I would say Mr. and Mrs. Superboy.
Yes.
Stand Up or War of the Species. War of the Species.
Yeah.
They are very close, those two, though, to be fair. Stand Up or Bringing Down the House, which are the two episodes. Stand Up. Bringing Down the House is funny because that's the episode I always confuse it with. Just because often if a comedian absolutely kills on stage, they say, oh, he brought down the house. Anyway, Stand Up and Get Knocked Down or The Power of Evil. They're about even for me. I think Stand Up and Get Knocked Down is my favourite of those two, personally. Just because, we've got the guy that played Gary Mitchell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it's fun seeing TJ on stage, when they drug him and he's just acting like he's had about 100 cups of coffee. He's just twitching on stage.
Of course, he's partially quoting Henny Youngman, "Take my life, please."
Yeah. I like that. Stand Up wins this one.
Yep.
Stand Up or Revenge from the Deep, I'd say Stand Up again, but again, they're about even.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. Stand Up. Day in the Double Life or Superboy's Deadly Touch, I'd say
Day in the Double Life.
Day in the Double Life or Cat and Mouse, again, Day in the Double Life for me.
Yeah.
Double Life or Hollywood, Double Life.
Double Life.
For me. Double Life or Road to Hell, again, Double Life.
Road to Hell.
Oh, shit. Can I... Okay, if I hit back, we may have to start from scratch. Sorry.
Let's just leave it as is.
Okay. Day in the Double Life or Darla Goes Ballistic?
Darla Goes Ballistic.
Double Life or Revenge of the Alien? I'd say Revenge.
Same.
But this one is close, but yeah. This one's not difficult. Obituary for a Superhero or Superboy's Deadly Touch?
Deadly Touch.
Yeah. Obituary or Nightmare Island? Nightmare Island.
Nightmare Island.
Obituary or Stand Up? Stand Up.
Yep.
Obituary or Bringing Down the House?
Bringing Down the House.
Obituary or Invisible People? Now, this is the question, because these are both usually people's least favorite episodes.
I'm going to go with the Invisible People merely because it's Greg Morris and he does such a great job in it.
Yeah. Plus, it's probably the episode that had, of any episode from season 1, it's one of the episodes that probably had the most potential, but just failed in execution.
Yeah.
Whereas Obituary for a Superhero is the exact same problem, but it was basically supposed to be the last episode of the final season of the show. They should have learned by now. Really, you can forgive a lot more in season 1. So yeah, Invisible People. There we go. Obituary or Tiger Eye? This is one of the few times I would say Tiger Eye is better.
I'm going to agree with you.
Technical or Kryptonite Kills?
Kryptonite Kills.
Technical or Who is Superboy?
Who is Superboy?
Technical or Power of Evil?
Power of Evil.
Technical or Invisible People? Now we're getting to a difficult thing. I prefer Jewel of Technical.
Same.
Even though it's not a good episode, I like the stuff with Lana and her father. I like the introduction of Lex and Leo, even if Lex's performance is diabolically bad. Yeah, I still prefer Jewel of Technical. Technical or Bringing Down the House? Technical again for me.
Yep.
They were about even, but one just takes it. Technical or Secrets of Superboy? I would say Secrets this time.
Same.
Standoff or Superboy Lost?
I'm gonna go
I
with
know
Standoff.
I've been choosing Superboy Lost for a lot of these, but I do think Stand Up is genuinely a better episode. Standoff rather, or Mixture Pitlick.
Standoff.
Again, I Standoff, yeah. Standoff or Rebirth,
Rebirth.
yeah. Standoff or Cat and Mouse, Standoff.
Yeah.
Cat and Mouse is one of the better clip shows, but it's not as good as Standoff. Standoff or Knick Knack.
Standoff.
Standoff or Bizarro the Thing of Steel.
Bizarro. No question.
Troubled Waters or Kind of Princess? I'd say a
Kind of Princess.
Troubled Waters or Rest in Peace?
Rest in peace.
Troubled Waters or Secrets of Superboy?
Secrets.
Yeah. Troubled Waters or Invisible People? I'd say Troubled Waters this time.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but yeah, Troubled Waters.
Yeah, it just takes it, you know. It won by a nose, as they say. Troubled Waters or Bringing Down the House?
Troubled Waters.
Troubled Waters or Tetracal?
Tetracal.
I prefer Troubled Waters, but I can see the argument for Tetracal, so let's go with that. Birdwoman or Abandon Earth?
Abandon Earth.
Birdwoman or Phantom?
Phantom.
Birdwoman or Tetracal? I'd say Tetracal. Birdwoman or Invisible People? I'd say Invisible. No, they're basically the same. I mean, one very much plays as a sequel to the other as well.
Yeah.
Even though that's probably not what was intended. Let's go with Invisible People, because as you said earlier, that episode has Greg Morris, whereas Birdwoman of the Swamps has the most unconvincing Native American woman I've ever seen on screen. So
yeah,
it's kind of, when it comes to guest stars, I'm sorry, one easily beats the other. Birdwoman or Obituary?
Birdwoman.
Birdwoman or Tiger Eye?
Birdwoman.
Change of Heart or Back to Oblivion? Back to Oblivion.
Yeah.
Change of Heart or Superstar?
Change of Heart.
Both, yeah, very middle of the road episodes, both of them, but Change of Heart. Change of Heart or Haunting of Andy McAllister?
Change of Heart.
Change of Heart or Russian Exchange Student? Russian Exchange Student, I'd say.
Yeah.
Change of Heart or Werewolf? Werewolf, probably.
Yeah.
Change of Heart or Yellow Perry?
Change of Heart.
Johnny Casanova and the Case of the Secret Serum or Out of Luck?
Out of Luck.
I'd say Out of Luck, but it is very close just because obviously we absolutely love the actor that plays Johnny Casanova. He's the only reason that episode is a joy to watch every time, just because he's just so damn good in it.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark Jones.
Yeah, sorry, Mark Jones. You know, it's not our favorite episode, but it's super entertaining. Either way, Out of Luck. Casanova or Superstar? Casanova, I would say.
Yeah.
That time. Casanova or Haunting of Andy McAllister? I'd say Haunting this time.
Yeah.
I like the ghosts in Haunting. Yeah. Casanova or Who is Superboy? I'd say Casanova this time.
Yeah, same here.
Casanova or Nightmare Island? Now, that is a tough one because Nightmare Island is only as high up in our estimations, in our ranking, as it is for the guest star. But I don't know. If there's one guest star in this show that I think I like more than Phil Vondacaro, it's probably Mark Hutton.
Mark
is
Holton,
that his name?
Holton.
Holton, sorry. I called him Hutton. Yeah, so Casanova. They're both equal quality episodes, but as much as I like Phil Fondacaro, yeah, Casanova. Okay, Casanova or Mr. and Mrs. Superboy is...
Casanova.
Yeah. And it's funny, I kind of wish they got Mark Holton to play Mixie. It would have been a very different way to take it, but he would have been pretty damn good, I think. Okay, Super Menace or Succubus?
Super Menace.
Super Menace or Rites of Passage is slightly harder. Yeah. Menace or Fixer?
Menace.
Menace or Metamorphosis?
I'm going to say Metamorphosis on this.
Yeah. Okay. Menace or Beast?
Menace.
Menace or Threesome?
Menace.
Icarus or Succubus?
Icarus.
Icarus or With This Ring I Thee Kill?
Oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
They're
They're
equal.
about equal. I personally would give it to Sons of Icarus just purely because we had so few episodes dedicated to Matt that I think, it goes up in my estimation, not because of the quality of the episode, just because there are so few of them. Icarus or Test of Time? I'd say Test of Time.
Yeah, agreed.
Icarus or Microboy?
Icarus.
Icarus or Centauri?
This one I'm going to have to say was to Alpha Centauri.
Agreed. Icarus or Program for Death? I'd say Program for Death this time.
Yeah, as much as we needed the episode that goes into Matt,
we needed the Andy development episode more, didn't we? Really? Yeah. Program for Death. People versus Metallo or Succubus?
People versus Metallo.
Yeah. People versus or With This Ring?
With This Ring.
People versus or The Fixer?
People versus.
People versus or Super Menace?
Ooh, this is a tough one. These are both.
It's got to be Super Menace for me. Because let's face it, if we choose People versus Metallo, we get Super Menace included for free.
All right,
because of all the clips.
Let's go with yours.
Yeah, Super Menace. People versus Metallo or Neela and the Beast? People versus Metallo for me.
Yeah.
People versus or Threesome?
People versus.
Beast and Beauty or The Lair?
The Lair.
Beast and Beauty or Mutant?
Beast and Beauty.
Beast and Beauty or Mr. and Mrs. Superboy? I would say Beast and Beauty this time.
Yeah.
Beast and Beauty or Change of Heart?
I have to say Change of Heart on this one.
Yeah, I agree. Beast and Beauty or Haunting at Vandy McAllister? Haunting.
Yeah.
Beast and Beauty or Johnny Casanova? Johnny Casanova.
Yep.
Black Flamingo or Russian exchange student?
Russian exchange student.
Okay. Flamingo or Mutant?
Mutant.
Flamingo or Troubled Waters?
Troubled Waters.
Flamingo or Birdwoman?
Oh, this is rough.
Yeah. I would go Flamingo with this one. Yeah. I think it just had, despite all of its problems, I think Black Flamingo still has a lot going for it. It's got that whole assassination plot thing. It's got, some of the scenes.
Birdwoman also has the whole idea of an unscrupulous builder who's ripping off the city for homeless. He's basically ripping off the homeless in a sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think Black Flamingo had more potential, especially since now we've seen, with your pitch, just how much could have changed with just a few different cast members. Birdwoman has some of the same problems as Black Flamingo. Just there are some actors that are just woefully miscast. I think Flamingo. It's close. It's close though. Yeah. Flamingo or Little Hercules?
Flamingo.
Hercules. Really? You prefer that over Little Hercules? Okay.
I cannot stand Little Hercules.
I quite like it. I enjoy that episode. Granted, it's just because I like Joaquin Phoenix and I like when they rip off movies for episodes of Superboy. So yeah. Flamingo or Bringing Down the House?
Bringing Down the House.
Yeah. Terror from the Blue or Young Dracula?
Ooh.
I'd say Terror from the Blue.
Yeah.
Terror from the Blue or Super Menace? Super Menace.
Yep.
Blue or Kind of Princess? Kind of Princess.
Yep.
Blue or Succubus? Blue, I'd say. Blue or Back to Oblivion? Back to Oblivion.
Back to Oblivion. No question on this.
Yeah. Blue or Out of Luck? Out of Luck.
Yeah.
That one's not even hard. Countdown to Nowhere or Young Dracula? Young Dracula is better, in my opinion.
Yes.
Countdown or War of the Species? I would say War of the Species. Countdown or Bringing Down the House?
Bringing Down the House.
Countdown or Birdwoman?
Birdwoman.
Countdown or Obituary? I'd say Countdown is better than Obituary.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Okay. Countdown or Tiger Eye?
Countdown.
Neela or Werewolf?
Oh.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'd say Werewolf. Because I think the best Neela episode is Neela and the Beast. I don't think her introduction episode was all that, to be honest. It's not bad.
Werewolf.
It's just, yeah. Neela or Stand Up?
Neela.
I'd say Neela, yeah. Neela or Run Dracula Run? I would go Run Dracula Run, personally.
Yep.
Neela or Superstar?
Neela.
Neela or Rest in Peace?
Rest in peace.
Yeah, okay. Neela or Phantom?
Phantom.
Golem or Change of Heart? Golem, I would say. Golem or Neela and the Beast? I'd say Neela and the Beast.
Yeah.
I could see an argument for Golem, but okay. Golem or Out of Luck? Out of Luck, I would say. Golem or Russian Exchange? It's got to be Russian Exchange, surely. Golem or Werewolf?
Both supernatural episodes.
They're both supernatural episodes. They're both very enjoyable episodes. I would say that out of the two, between Paula Marshall and the guy that played the Golem, whose name I'm blanking on right this second, Brian Thompson, is it?
Yeah. Brian Thompson.
I think Brian Thompson, despite having a lot less to do acting wise, I like Brian Thompson.
Well, it's not so much having less to do acting wise. He had less lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there was a lot. I suppose he portrayed a lot of emotion just on his facial expressions and stuff. So
yeah. I would go with Golem on this one.
Okay. Golem or Young Dracula? I would say Golem is slightly better.
Yeah.
Body Swap or The Fixer?
Body Swap.
Body Swap. Body Swap or Knick-Knack?
Body Swap.
Body Swap or Road to Hell?
Road to Hell.
Body Swap or Special Effects? Body Swap.
Mm-hmm.
Special Effects is good, but it's just so much fun watching Sherman Howard playing Clark and the other way around, you know. Body Swap or The Basement?
Body Swap.
Body Swap or Alien Solution? I would say Alien Solution.
Yeah, on this one, I'd have to agree with you on that.
And our results are in. This is our top 87 episodes in order. You know what? I don't need to read this whole list. I'm scrolling down. You can all see it on screen. This is the official, as far as it is right now, Superboy Beyond ranking
coming
list.
in last place, Obituary for a Superhero.
Indeed.
The worst episode of the series. So all you fans out there who have said that, we agree with you. And so does this website that we used.
Yeah. So thank you all so much. Especially thank you, by the way, to the person on GitHub that made this preference revealer thing, because this has just made it so much easier for us to actually put together our rankings list. But yeah, there is our list in order. This episode hopefully will have released just shortly after we appear on Digging for Kryptonite Pod, where we discuss our top 10. And obviously our top 10 is pulled from what we just did today. So
yes.
If you would like to hear us discuss our top 10 in more detail, we'll include a link in the video description just below. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you all so much for watching this extra long episode of Superboy Beyond
Although
podcast.
Not as long as the episode we had with Lou.
True, yeah. How long did that go for? It was like almost 3 hours, wasn't it?
It was actually just a hair over 3 hours.
Was it really?
But when you're talking to Lou, it doesn't seem like it's that much time.
Yeah, well, we were having fun, you know. I don't think any of us were really watching the clock, you know. It was just, yeah. I don't even think I asked half the questions I had prepared because one thing led into another, and half the interview thing was just us asking follow-up questions. But yeah,
We
thank you all
definitely
so
have to
much
get
for
Lou back
watching.
on.
Oh yeah, we'll get him back on soon. Absolutely. Thank you all so much for watching this nearly 2-hour episode of our show. Maybe I'll tell you what, I'll include the preference revealer thing in the video description as well. Hopefully I'll remember. And then if you want to copy and paste the episodes in and do your own rankings list, you can. You know, I think this was fun. And even if it was a very long episode, if it wasn't for the fact that this is meant to be released right before Digging for Kryptonite, I would probably have split this into 2 episodes, but that's okay. Thank you all again. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Viacom.